Hello, my name's Peter Sumner. I'm the engineering section manager here at Modine in the building HVAC department, and I'm in charge of the controls and electrical group. Today we're here to talk about the gas-fired unit heater BMS capabilities. Over the last year we've been developing an interface between the unit and a building management system. We've created this a circuit board which can talk BACnet or Modbus. It connects into the unit's circuitry. Through there we can talk out to a bigger system. What we're talking about today is a demo of a greenhouse. So if this unit was bought by a greenhouse owner, he'd be able to connect in multiple units into his system. Today we're showing 12 units. Okay, so he's got 12 units in his greenhouse. If you connect into one through this interface, we now get all of this information. We get all of these sensor values, which is the room temperature, the temperature at the back of the unit, which is actually used for the energy saver mode as well. So built into this board we also get the energy saver function. So if the temperature up in the ceiling void where the unit is high enough but we still have a heating coil from the space, we can just run the fan to stratify the air down to the floor, which means that you don't actually need to run your gas burner, which obviously is an energy saving function. And from here we can also change set points. So now the customer has the option to be able to change the set points without even going out into the space. From his front end he can do all of this. So you can change your set points for the heating, you can have your fan only set point you can change, and your energy saver mode you can change that all from this front end. One of the big things for the customer is he gets alarm statuses back from the unit. Instead of having to have a temperature in the space and say, okay, the temperature has dropped by 10 degrees or it's dropped by 15 degrees, whatever he's got that set at, now he can have actual alarm feedback real time from the unit. So I just generated an alarm on this unit, which is now showing here as a temperature limit or flame rollout alarm, which is obviously great for the customer because as soon as he gets a problem, he knows. And if you go back to the overview, you can see Effinity Unit 1 is in alarm. You don't have to walk around thinking, okay, which unit is the problem. You know instantaneously, and you know when you get to the unit it's a flame rollout issue, so you'll be able to fix that problem a lot quicker and you'll be able to get the units back up and running. Also from here you also have the valve statuses and you have the fan statuses, so now you can start looking at how long the unit's been running and how long the gas valves have been on. So you may find that one of your units in the space has been running for 15 hours and one of the unit has only been running for 5 hours. And what you might find is that one of the vent systems has been stuck open, which is allowing cold air into the space. And because you notice this from the interface, you can now go and fix that problem rather than having to wait until you have an issue with temperature in the space. One thing we've done as well, because we know that a lot of these are still wired in through thermostats, we've actually allowed thermostat calls to be wired in through the BMS interface. So what you can do is you can wire in a G call, you can wire in a W and a W2 call for your fan, your heating stage 1 and heating stage 2. You can still wire them in. Even though you're going to be running this unit off a thermostat, you still get the functionality of all the alarms, so you can still get the feedback. And also you have the option of a supervisor on off, so even though you're using a thermostat, you can still switch the units off via the BMS, which is obviously great for a customer if he wants to be able to shut everything down in one go. We think this is going to make a big difference to the greenhouse market because, you know, they're buying the Effinity. This is the most efficient unit out there on the market, and now he's also getting to have this functionality that no one else has. This is something that's Modine specific. We're the only people that are able to do this today. It means that the customer gets so much more information actually instantaneously, which means that they can solve issues and they can rectify problems a lot quicker. But these units are not obviously only used in greenhouses. They're used all over buildings, in warehouses, in loading bays, things like that. So before, these units were never connected into the system. They were always the standalone devices out in these areas, and the only way you really knew if you had a problem was if somebody in the space actually came and told you, oh, the temperature's too low, or I'm too cold, But now, because we've integrated this into a BMS system by allowing BACnet or Modbus connectivity, it means that they can get this information straight away. And sometimes in like loading bays, you may have a door that's been left open, and if it's very cold outside, you have the issue where you could be freezing water pipes and things like that. Obviously with this, you can have the temperature coming back from the space instantaneously. You can set alarms on your BMS, which means you can say, okay, if it gets below this temperature, generate an alarm, or if the unit fails or has an issue itself, you'll instantly know that it has that fault, and you can go and fix it before it becomes a problem in the building. What we're showing today is what we call ASIS controls, which is Airedale Controls Integrated System, which is a system developed in the UK, and it's something that we used over there for data centers and large building management systems. So we're not just integrating unit heaters. This system has everything from the data center to the offices, the external plant, the cooling, everything is all built into this system. And I think the good thing to say about this is now we've got a very large system, and now you can even tie a unit heater into that large system. It's something that you couldn't do before. There is ways of doing it you can use thermostats, BACnet thermostats, but all that does is give you the temperature, and you can turn the unit on and off, and you can change a set point. This actually gives you an interface to the actual unit where you can see real time what the unit's doing and the health of it, and whether it's the unit's running and operating exactly how you'd expect. I think this is something that it's different. It's something that the market hasn't got, and I think it's something that'll be very important once customers see it and get in front of them. This is something that's going to be different and be able to be a big selling point to them. I'm Peter Sumner. If you need any more information, get in touch with us at Modine or contact one of your reps, and they'll be able to give you a lot more information on the new interface board for the building management system. So thanks.